Today I'll put together Plastic Man. From the DC Multiverse Build-A-Figure wave, you just have to buy 90s Aquaman, Batman, in the all-black suit, John Stewart Green Lantern Classic Edition, and Superman Red or Blue. You get all their parts in those figures, and once you get them together, dang. He doesn't come with his own base or card, so not to be confused with Elongated Man, Plastic Man's a DC stretchy character. He's actually a really old character, originally debuted in Quality Comics before they were bought out by DC. Eel O'Brien was originally a street criminal until he got oldie chemicals dumped on him that gave him stretchy powers. I'm most familiar with Plastic Man via Batman the Brave and the Bold, which I grew up with, and I love how they adapt his backstory, now being a henchman of Kite Man, and he followed in old chemicals by accident. So Batman didn't want another Joker running around, so he decided to be his co-sponsor on his probation. And I really hope they adapt this in future Plastic Man stories, much like how Mr. Freeze's backstory was impacted by Batman the Animated Series. I mean, Kite Man's having a really good decade. He has his own show, for crying out loud. And he was referenced in Peacemaker. And James Gunn is a fan of the Terrifics, which are basically just DC's Fantastic Four after Doom Patrol just stopped being that. So it's a pretty strong chance we'll see him in live action eventually. But anyways, back to this figure, it looks great. It kind of looks like a young Bruce Campbell. He's got this permanent, dark room with blue windows in his reflection. They did sculpt the detail on his chest, like the skin being different from the rest of his outfit and the lines. They even continued up the articulation. His toes are connected, which is accurate, and the flesh tone on the joints is a little obvious. He's got your standard DC Multiverse articulation, except for his head is not on a ball joint like every other figure, it's connected to his neck. For accessories, he comes with an alternate head and arms. The arms are easier to swap out than you would think. The alternate head is his head going, looking off to the side, and he's got a stretchy out neck, which I guess is why the articulation is not down there. I probably would have preferred if they made, both heads different and then a different neck. One arm is his arm looped around into a loop, and then a freaky, big, grabby hand. They look cool, but they don't have any articulation shoulder down, which really sucks. They couldn't put a bendy wire at least in them. Here he is with the rest of his wave, and I'm overall happy with it. All the figures do look great. Also, I just now realize Batman and Plastic Man all have their articulation in their neck instead of their head. The only real downside is Plastic Man's just a normal figure size, while usually these Build-A-Figures tend to be reserved for the big boys, I still like him, and if you can get your hands on all the other figures, I would recommend putting them together. But it does feel a little lame that they didn't just sell him separate instead of making him the Build-A-Figure. But let me know your opinions down below, as well as hitting that like button and subscribing.